Prepare yourself to be transported back to an era where Gothic scents and vintage style make the cut. Hi, I'm Gabby, and welcome back to another edition of the Fragrantician, where here on this channel I talk about perfumes that are different to the average channel. Because let's face it, I'm not average. Are you? So in this video today, I am talking about perfumes that are deep, are Gothic, and they are the ultimate. I have a lot more in my collection, but these are a sample of the ultimate that I have that play a role that are deep, dark, and Gothic. So let's start. So the first one is Opus N by Amage. This is a deep jasmine civet scent. I'm not going to talk about these at great length, but they all have that vibe. They all have a vibe that gives off a certain type of... My husband is vacuuming in the background, if you can hear that. Well, let's just carry on, shall we? Opus N by Amage goes fantastic with these nails. It's a deep, dark, Gothic jasmine scent. And if you love jasmine, but it's done with a twist, with an animalic facet, you will love Opus N by Amage. It's down to about here, I think. This is where it is. So what do you think of that first one? I mean, let's face it, that's a big one to start with, but I have a whole load more here. The second one I'm going to talk about, the next one I'm going to talk about is Amage Noir by Lancôme. This is everything and the kitchen sink. This to me is bitter chocolate with some rose, everything else thrown into it. It is not for the faint-hearted. It is, I mean, let's face it, Opus N by Amage. I mean, this isn't for the faint-hearted. Neither is this. A lot of these aren't, really. A few are quite safe. Only a few. But this one definitely isn't. This is a reformulated version, but I still love it. It's not talked about. It's not really given enough love. It's an aromatic chypre, which has a bit of a witchiness about it. Amage Noir by Lancôme. So, moving on, I'm going to go to a Dior scent. This is Midnight Poison. Yes, this is the apple of our eye. It is Cinderella Gothic, but, as I've said before, it's done slightly different. It's rose, patchouli, ambery, discontinued now. Oh my gosh, the smell of this is beautiful. Don't even have to spray this. This is Cinderella, but she's got black frills going round. She's got black silk stockings underneath. She's out to play. She's a doozy. She's not your average girl. She is Midnight Poison. Long gone, discontinued, sadly, but we still love her nonetheless. The next one is a dupe of Tom Ford Black Violet, I do believe, but I'm not going to spend £300, £400, £500 on a bottle of that. Oh no, this is Dark Lavender by the Perfume Parlour. This is lavender, but with violet. It's spicy, it's aromatic. Like the previous ones, this has good sillage and projection. It is a doozy of a fragrance. I love that word, doozy. Do you? But yes, this is Dark Lavender. It's stunning. It's again not for the faint-hearted. It has this feel to it that you just want to engulf yourself and bite into it. That's Dark Lavender. Just looking in the camera here. Yes. I have to make sure this is not really working properly. It's been playing up, but I've got a new microphone on order, hopefully. The next one is, now I've not spoken about this in quite a while. It is Agent Provocateur. It is L'Agent. This is in a similar vein to another one I have here, which is another deep, dark Gothic one, Amage Memoir, the second Amage in this collection, and I'm talking about. It is frankincense and incense and smokiness. It is femme fatale. It is Famke Janssen, a Bond girl in a bottle. This is what these two are. This playing it with the red lip, the smoky eyeliner. She is not only gonna get you, she's gonna strangle you to death. That girl, she really is. She is meaning business. This fragrance has, I mean, if a fragrance could have a smell to it with this color, this is perfect. This ombre, sweet but yet dark and sultry effect. So that is Amage Memoir and L'Agent Provocateur. If you're looking for a cheaper alternative, more inexpensive alternative, sadly this has been discontinued, but you can still get it on the grey market. And this one is 3 times the price. But these two, Gothic realness in a bottle, really is. And I just love Amouage bottles. They are something else. Even though this bottle is quite nice. I mean, the leather on this. Who doesn't like to stroke leather? Come on, tell me. So, the next one is a tuberose fragrance I've spoken about in a previous video, and that is Fraka by Robert Piguet. This is tuberose forward. Probably the only, although I have another tuberose scent in here, but this is, very tuberose forward. This is 1940s vintage Goth era. The black bottle says everything. This has some other florals. This has some aromatic. This has an aromatic feel to it, like the next one compared side by side, but they're completely different. Is Clinique Aromatics Elixir. Nearly dropped it. The original one, although it's been reformulated. I wore this to death in the 90s, and I would go clubbing in this, and I would get lots of compliments on this. This is how good this scent is. But this is very different to this one, which is more tuberose. This is more animalic and oak moss. Think of oak moss. This is a deep green forest. And thinking of a deep green forest, I am going to talk about, not Eden, but I'm going to talk about this one by Mugler, Thierry Mugler, Aura, which I have put quite a hefty dent into this. This is only a 30ml bottle now. This has been discontinued by Thierry Mugler. Shame on you, Thierry Mugler, because it's owned by L'Oreal now, like L'Oreal do with all of their brands. So anyway, if you can still get your hands on this bottle, you can. But this is like a mentholated vanilla. It's almost the package. The marketing of this was that girl with the long dark hair, and you just feel like a pack of wolves are following her into the forest. This is what this scent is doing. It is, again, aromatic, but it's slightly sweet. If you imagine the color green, this is what the color green would be in a scent. Aura by Mugler. It has many facets to it as well as it dries down. This kind of like almost germaline, but sweetness to it. I mean, Mugler scents, they are just out of this world, and they are alien feeling. They have this Gothic feel like the original. Let's talk about it, because it is Gothic, as I understand. The original Angel by Thierry Mugler. These two scents have some magicalness to them, whereas this one is cotton candy, as the Americans say. In England, we say candy floss combined with the patchouli, which gives it the raw dirtiness. The juice in this is, well, this is vintage Mugler. You cannot get any better than vintage Mugler. It was and still is kind of like, if you know, a signature scent of mine. I'm actually going to spray a little bit. As it opens up, when it came out on the market in 1992, it had there was nothing else like it. But yeah, see, it has. Some people will describe it as this body odor feeling, but I don't care. On me, it doesn't really go like that. The sweetness is amped up by, there's everything in there. There's florals, there's sweet things, there's an aromatic feel to it. It's like if a goth was at a fun fair eating candy floss. This is what Angel would be. Yeah. Again, Gothic realness in a bottle. Let's move on. Let's move on to something completely different. Let's move on to a jasmine forward scent. Very jasmine, which I've spoken about, and that's Lust. This is maybe the ultimate Dracula in a bottle, but hold on to your fangs there, because I have a video coming up where I am going to talk about a scent which is maybe my ultimate Gothic dark scent that I've not talked about before. Well, I have talked about it briefly, but my nose has changed since sobriety. It's kind of like, I don't know what's happened. It's on a 360 turn, and I wasn't sure if I liked the scent, but I'd smelt dupes of it, and I'd smelt it years ago. And then when I got a tester of it, I just fell in love with it. So I'm going to talk about that scent. It'll surprise some of you, actually. Anyway, going back to Lust, this is jasmine forward with some ylang ylang and some damask rose, but it is carnal. It's a carnal fragrance. That is Lust. Moving on to actually a dupe of, or a clone of, Samsara by Guerlain. But I'm not going to talk about that one. I'm going to talk about The World by the Perfume Parlour. This is the perfect ylang ylang and sandalwood. Has this brightness but darkness to it. Came out in the late 80s, and let's face it, in 1989. And let's face it, masterpiece. But I'm not going to pay £300 for a 100ml bottle. No way am I going to pay that for a vintage bottle. No, I'm gonna. It's affordability. And this, I don't know what they've done with the Mysore sandalwood in this fragrance, but it gives it that depth and complexity, which is amazing, which you want to feel dressed up goth wearing this. And talking about dressed up goth wearing this, the other dressed up goth scent I'm going to talk about is Juliet Has a Gun Midnight Oud. This has oud, but it has rose in it. I was going to talk about Portrait of a Lady, but I decided not to. I decided to go for this because I think the rose in this is absolutely beautiful. It's a classic rose oud scent. If you're looking for a classic rose oud scent that has Gothic feel to it, this, stunning. Absolutely. It is. I got this for such a good price. I think you can still get it, but it's harder to find now. For a niche brand, this is dressing up, putting on the fur, and you just feel glamorous goth. Yes, that's Juliet Has a Gun. If you're looking for a more maybe of a masculine style scent, because all of these, I know, they're not masculine or feminine in my eyes, but they can be targeted towards feminine or masculine. But this one, although it's targeted as a feminine scent, I think it has a masculine edge to it, and that's Gucci Guilty Absolute Parfum. But the cypress in this gives it such sharpness and uniqueness, combined with patchouli and it has a slight fruitiness to it as well. It's like a fruity chypre. You know, because a few years ago, about 5 or 10 years ago, we had all of those fruity chypres on the market that they marketed. And I'm thinking of, I don't know, I think when Mon Paris came out by YSL, you know, it was all of these fruity kind of chypres that came out. That was more fruity, whereas this is more mass appealing. This isn't as mass appealing. None of these scents really are very mass appealing that I've talked about, really. That some of these are quite polarizing, and that's what I love about the scent collection I have in my collection. This is Gucci Guilty Pour Femme. This is good longevity, good sillage, good projection, Gothic realness in a bottle. What more can I say? Moving on. I still have a few more to talk about. The next one is a vintage style, but it has a classic feel to it. And no, it's not Ana or Anaïs Anaïs by Cacharel. But if you're looking for an alternative, which is more fairy goth realness, let's look at the original Fragonard. This is Hyacinth, which is that purple floral. This has green sweetness to it, but it bites. Boy, can it bite. This is about 99% similar to the original pre-reformulated NA&A. But again, it's another discontinued scent, and it's hard to find now, but I still love it nonetheless. If you want to feel mischievous goth, this is the one for you. This is mischievous goth, feeling pretty, but underneath, you know, you're quite bewitching, actually. If you're looking for what I call a summer goth scent, Versace Crystal Noir. This is summer goth. This is a vampire at the beach, which I think Claire Smith may have said. I think it is. It's kind of like a vampire on the beach. Not to everyone's liking. I like it a lot, but I don't love it a lot. I've put a little bit of a dent in this. This is a 30ml bottle. But this kind of has like a beachy vibe, summer goth scent to it. And it's, if, you know, if Dracula was at the beach, what more can I say? Some people say it has coconut in it. I'm not sure. Some people say it's been reformulated. I'm not sure. This is a newer version for me. This is the Eau de Toilette, not the Eau de Parfum. I still like it nonetheless. It's quite of a dressy scent, but it's more casual dressy goth scent, I would say. It's not your ultimate dressy scent like Opus N or Memoir or where's the other one here that I spoke about? Cannot see it here. Cannot see it here. I'm probably, oh, here it is. Juliet Has a Gun, Midnight Oud. That's more dressy goth. How many more have I got to go? Still a few more to go. Still a couple of more. Now, if you're looking for a niche brand, if you're looking for an artisanal lady called Francesca Bianchi, she made Lost in Heaven. This is quite a gothic scent. I was going to choose this or The Lovers, but I went for this one. This, I feel, is, the way I describe this is, it's kind of that witchy goth. I'm just checking my microphone. Yes, excuse the double chin. This is witchy goth. This is, I would say, you know, The Witch and the Wizard of Oz. I just feel like she would wear this scent with a black hat because, again, it appears like a lot of these scents have brightness and darkness, and I love that in the scents that I have. This, I think, has castoreum, or has an animalic facet combined with that Francesca Bianchi DNA of a little bit of iris and sweetness, but there's sharpness, again, depth to it. Let's get lost in Kansas wearing this from The Wizard of Oz. That's Lost in Heaven. That's the kind of gothic feel I'm going with that. Now, if you're looking for the ultimate am I going to save that one for last? think I might have given that one away. Now, if you're going for another Dracula style scent, but you want another jasmine scent, but with honey and sweetness, this is what I call my Greek vampire goth scent. Feast de joie. It's fecal. It's, yeah. If you don't like a fecal jasmine, you will hate this, but I think it's backed up so well with the honey, which gives it that sweetness. You think, oh my God, how can something so awful that you've just described be so nice and so lovely? I hate the word nice. So beautiful, but gothic and mysterious and alluring. Feast de joie. Yeah. So how many more have I got to go? I have 2 more to go. So let's talk about another tuberose scent called The Board. This is Call Girl Goth. Yep, I said it. It's an ode to call girls. It's an ode to those women in the Jack the Ripper era that it's alluring. It's a tuberose forward scent, but TRNP, The Board, this is the only, I have another scent by TRNP, Tierney Reintel, but she makes small batches of fragrance in Australia. This is a 30ml. This is strong. My husband has commented when I wear this, but I feel this is, I don't know, I just feel that a cool girl or a lady of the night would be wearing this with a deep red lip, sitting in the corner of a club, just waiting for her prey. Yes, that's The Board. And finally, I am going to talk about one of the ultimate, if not the ultimate, goth style scent, Lulu by Cacharel. This is a first vintage formula. This is tuberose, but with incense and smokiness. This is Fenella Fielding from Carry On Screaming, wearing this in crushed black velvet. This is Louise Brooks, an ode to Louise Brooks, the 1920s icon, silent film star, wearing this. This is ultimate goth realness. And it's not to be played with. So those were my ultimate gothic scents. What are yours? I'd love to know. I don't want to talk about them too long. I just wanted to give you a feel of this gothic ultimate collection that I have in my scent profile. So you've been watching another edition of The Fragrantician. Until next time, I'm so excited about my next video. But take care of yourself and remember, as my ultimate goth Elvira says, unpleasant dreams. But also, if you're going to have unpleasant dreams, at least spray with gay abandon. Till next time, my lovelies. Bye for now.